Oh, actually, that's a lot of it. No, Twitch is being a Twitch. Yeah, there it goes. It works perfectly now.
Yay.
Well, it's annoying, but fair enough. Right. Anyway, alright, yeah. Right, I've lost my train of thought.
We were talking about money for Goldie with what was his face again?
Marco.
Hello.
Thank you. Alright, yeah. So Marco just looks at you and he just sort of just sighs with a little bit of a smile back at your face and just goes, just see me before you guys leave. I'll see if we can muster something to help you out, Goldie, but I don't know how much we can get.
No, it's fine. Like I said, I'll probably con Magnus into giving me some of his money.
Well, you'd have to do something against him. I mean, he's somewhat smart enough to sense a scam, but I'm not sure how he is with everything else.
Maybe I can get Trilly to slide her little hand in his pockets. Pretty sure he won't notice.
Well, I'm sure we'll figure out something. Anyway,
that isn't why I wanted to talk to you. I didn't want to really talk to you about gold.
Are you really guys really planning on trying to steal from me? That won't end well. It'll most likely end with a dagger in someone's kidney.
Yay, kidney.
How to remove a kidney stone, Magnus.
Want more love in your luck, like kiss the Brownie.
You think I'm kidding, but I'm not.
Oh, I'm fully aware. By the way, that's the symbol for Goldie's thing, by the way, just in case anyone. Just leaving that there because I've been meaning to write that down myself. Alright, yeah.
Yay.
So, anyway, carry on.
So, yeah. I'm guessing you've been around a few places?
I have, yeah. I went around a couple of places at Manu. I was originally going to make my way over to one of the other islands to search up a lead that I picked up on my travels. Apparently one of the Black Pen acolytes was talking about how apparently over the seas that some Black Pen members have been trying to influence themselves beyond the borders.
Ooh. So I'm guessing they really are trying to take over the world.
I'd say they're more trying to make up an influence rather than anything, but I guess that's one way you could word it.
Any other information while out in your travels?
Depends what you're after.
I guess anything about the Black Pen or just anything really that could help us.
Well, all information I would have got would have gone to Titanus, and I'm pretty sure he would have brought something up otherwise, but since I never got a chance to go outside of the borders, I actually don't know much about this at the minute.
Well, if you are thinking of going there, just be careful.
Well, I can only do my best.
I don't feel like trying to bring you back to life again.
I know. Believe me, that was not an experience I wanted to go through again either. At that point, by the way, at that point you've just arrived close to the blacksmith, so...
Yay!
Yes.
Finally here!
Yeah. Okay, so Titan is there. He's busy sort of wiping down sort of after dealing with the Aeon, you're kind of echoing a little bit.
I'll fix it.
Nice, dude. Okay. So he's sort of wiping down sort of either sort of like bits of sweat from himself or any like water or whatever he's used on the anvil. He turns and notices you come in, and he sort of gives a smile in your direction. Ah, Goldie.
Hello. How are things?
About as things could pick up as it can be here. Oh, who's your friend?
Oh, this is my friend Marco.
My pleasure.
Oh no.
You know, you should be careful about that name. Apparently echoes around the world very easily.
When a child named Marco is born, the word of polo echoes around when they speak of his name.
the lore of this world is immense. So at that point, Marco just sort of gives a little bow, and he looks at Titan and goes, "You look like you're hard at work there." "Oh, I was literally just finishing up for most of the time or whatever. Just finished off a bit of an order. Speaking of order, I'm guessing that's why you're here."
Yeah. I hope it wasn't too much. I hope it wasn't too difficult.
I don't think it should be. It wasn't too much. I mean, it had a little bit of a wear and tear to fix up, but nothing an old giant guy like me couldn't fix. You see him sort of flex himself, almost like he's kind of proud of what he's just done, but then he just sort of gives a cough like, sorry, excuse me. Anyway, to make sure I need to just double check, because, you know, a man of business, I have to make sure I did exactly right. You wanted just the fix up and the polish up, right?
Yeah, just a little bit of an upgrade to the old thing.
Do you want it with an extra kick?
Yes.
Then I'm glad I did exactly what I did. So he actually brings out the mace from around the corner, and you see that the mace is almost looking brand new, but you see that the actual mace itself, the iron ball on the end, you actually see that it actually has, instead of round bumps on it, you see that they're a bit more sort of triangle pointed like.
Well,
Oh,
Hello.
wait, what's up?
my internet is being annoying, so I was like checking if it's still working.
Fair enough.
Don't worry about it.
Alright, so if you want that back, yeah, you paid for it, you said, yeah?
What? Yeah. Goldie looks at the mace with like really like wide eyes, like, "Whoa, dude, this is amazing! Thank you so much."
Well, I did say I'd give you the kick to it, so just be a bit aware, though. It is a little bit on the fragile. I never got the chance to properly test it, so I don't know how easy or how hard it'll be to break that thing, but it should last you a good time for that.
But still, thank you so much. Goldie also checks the hilt of the mace to see if, you know, the family.
Yeah, I can tell you that your insignia is on. It's not on the handle itself. It's more on the very bottom of it, almost sort of like on the round circle on the very bottom of it. In other words, you'd have to grab the mace and look under it to see it. It was a bit hard to get it to fit on there. Plus, I figured a signal crest would probably look a lot better if it wasn't bent or curved or something like that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but still, this is amazing. You've done a brilliant.
Oh, you're making me feel flattered, honest. But I'm just a guy making a living, and if I can make anybody smile, it means I've done my job right. It's an old saying. No, it's an old saying that my family goes: iron is hard, but eventually it has a melting point, and that melting point is what it takes to make me smile.
Oh, speaking of which, has my friend Magnus gone to get his sword?
I haven't seen him come back. Actually, I don't think.
if you'd like, I can take him. I can bring him his sword back to him.
Make a persuasion check.
I
I think I know what's going on here.
Are you sure this is not a deception check?
Well, I don't know. It depends. Goldie, what exactly you? Well, I don't know. Are you trying to do this as a good gesture, or are you trying to hide you doing something?
I will be giving Magnus his sword.
Alpha, think before you do this. All I'm gonna warn you.
Magnus don't know yet. Anyway, what are you doing, Caitlin?
I think it is probably deception.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You're going to sell it.
Well, in which case, just make a normal persuasion check for me in this scenario.
I mean, I will be giving it to Magnus. He'll just probably might have to give me some gold in return.
Persuasion check then, just for the sake, cause yeah. Oh,
No!
8. Nah. He looks at you for a moment, and he goes, "I know we're on a good term, but the ruling of it is I have to give it back to the one who places the order. It's customer service, privacy, and security. I am sorry, Goldie. I know that he's a part of your team, but I can't risk anything."
No, I completely understand.
Are you even trying to hide your frustration?
A little bit. But, nah, it's good, bruh.
Okay.
Make a deception check.
He's actually making an insight. Well, if you want to hide it, I'll ask you to make a deception check. Otherwise, if you want to be blunt, just go for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be deception.
Okay, deception check then. I'll roll an insight for him.
Motherfucker! I really want to con Magnus. Swear to God, if I get a high number in this one, I'm fucking
What
strong.
part of dagger in kidney are you failing to understand?
Remember when you all chose goodwill characters of 21?
I want to throw my computer out the window in a minute. So the fucking hell.
To be fair, I really think we should rename the show to Deception Check.
Probably would work
Chopper,
just as well.
keep it. Sorry, go ahead.
It probably
Chris.
would work just as well at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Chopper, keep in mind, she's a dragon born. Her scales are gonna be tough and stink.
Did you nearly say dragon boy?
Shut up.
Boy!
He was a dragon.
Damn it.
All right. Okay, but yeah. Okay. 21. He looks at you there, and goes, "Well, I'm glad you at least understand."
Yep.
Anyway, anything else I can do for you?
I actually do have one question.
Yes.
I noticed Bash, he has an enchanted weapon.
Ah, you're referring to his little kick.
Yeah. I'm actually curious, how did he manage to acquire
The
that?
same way that I busted your weapon up as well.
Wait, you mean, is my weapon also enchanted?
Okay, I'll say it for the sake of this. It's not enchanted, but it is stronger. You now have a mace +1. So it has an extra 1 added onto its rolls.
One.
One.
One. In fact, let's ask our resident plus magnet, Magnus! What does it mean for a weapon as +1 for the sake of passing to Caitlin?
Basically, it needs to get an extra instead of, like, for instance, for my average weapon, for instance, I also have the dagger plus.
He cut out.
Plus one's case, I'd roll d20 plus 8.
So
basically, you just add another number on top of whatever roll you have to roll for it.
In other words, you have an extra chance to hit your opponent.
In the case of my Vorpal Longsword, however, I roll a d20 plus 10.
Fuck you.
That should be illegal. That's
It adds a +3 to my strength.
It's like Brownie planned for this.
Plan on me actually succeeding in getting that damn thing.
I wonder how long it will take until a thieves guild finds out and figures out that it's really expensive and it gets
Let me roll a
stolen.
percentage die. Anyway.
No.
Yes. Do you remember me?
And here I thought it was the clerics of the paladins that would be like that, and the bard would be the one to make the
Anyway.
sneaky. No, it's not.
Anyway, carry on. Yeah, so Caitlin, your mace is now a mace +1. So you can probably find it in the items and it should be easy to find there.
Alright.
Yeah, so instead of a normal mace, you have a mace +1.
Okie dokie.
So, yeah, that's basically the enchantment there. To be honest, he's more of a blacksmith than a weapon enchanter, so he's more about making plus to weapons rather than adding, like, fire and stuff like that for the weapons.
Do you know where I can find an enchanting table?
Enchanting table? Oh, yeah, you need to go over that hill towards the creepers.
Oh God.
I know what I said. He looks at you for a moment and goes, Well, I know there isn't one over in Helix or even Hope Key, which surprises me. I think concerning what you're aiming for, I think you might have to try towards Velvet. I mean, they're pretty known for their militia and armies and such, so they may have stuff to buff up weapons down there with how many times that they probably had to use them and such.
Ah, fantastic. We're thinking of going there, actually.
Really? What the hell are you heading down there
Yeah.
for?
Reinforcements.
For what? You see at this point, Marco is looking at you kind of with this look of, what are you going to say?
Oh shit, I shouldn't have said anything, should I?
Wait, you mean that things are gonna get worse again? And you see Marco at this point just sort of do like the nervous hand thing going, no, it's not like that. See, Goldie and her team have been tasked to see if we can acquire some more aid for further protection, so then in the nice wording they don't have to come back here to keep saving the day and they can go off and kick the Black Pen's butt.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm gonna have him roll an insight for this case.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Brownie,
noticed.
at
I
this point,
noticed. Don't worry.
Plus, wouldn't it be nice to
Okay,
have
good.
some extra protection? Just in case, no one's in danger whatsoever. It's just an added precaution. Nothing to worry about.
Well, I guess that makes sense. I mean, you'll need as much firepower as you can get. And at that point, he looks over the shoulder. Oh, speaking of firepower, Magnus!
Hey!
So, Goldie, you turn around and there's Magnus now walking. Oh, sorry, guys. Over here. Sorry, down the south there, close there. So, Goldie, you see Magnus walking towards you at this point.
Oh, hi, Magnus.
Oh, Goldie, how you been?
Good. I've just got my upgraded
Yeah, so
weapon.
Magnus, you now see for the first time this mace, instead of like the round bumps that you see it having a more sharper tone on its edges. Not quite Morning Star level, but enough to at least make a mace seem intimidating.
Blunt yet more effective. Nice.
Hopefully, it'll be more
Well,
effective.
it better
So,
be.
are you here to? Are you here to upgrade your other weapons?
I only have the plus. The only one I have is the upgraded longsword. Which, by the way, is that finished yet?
As a matter of fact, I have actually got that. In fact, Goldie here was actually wanting to try to pick it up for you.
Well, that was nice of her.
Yeah. Totally.
At that point, he sort of goes behind the counter and goes, "Hang on, let me see if I can find it. Nope, that's not that one. No, that's an overseas order. Here it is!" And he lifts it up and places on the counter on two stands to avoid it hitting the desk. This beautifully crafted longsword.
Excellent. Looks brand new again.
Well, you have to understand who you're talking to. I can make anything nearly out of anything. Just don't ask me for magic crap. That, unfortunately, is out of my range.
I know a wizard who can do that for me anyway.
Well, where is it? Where is that wizard anyway?
Not here.
Then that might be a problem.
Hey Magnus, if you're ever thinking of if you ever do thinking of enchanting your weapons, I heard there's an enchantress in Velvet.
I mean, we are going to Velvet anyway.
Yeah, so we can always try and enchant our weapons there.
True.
Of course, my pockets are a bit empty at the minute.
How much do you want? Magnus sees the writing on the wall where this is going.
I tell you what. Magnus, make an insight check. Actually, no, hold on. Goldie, how much are you wanting?
All of it.
No.
How much do you have?
You're gonna either cry or just slack down. I have 800 gold on me at the moment.
You bastard.
I'll give you 100. How about that? Also, that's 7, so either way I'm failing it.
Okay, 7. Alright, Goldie?
How about...
go on, keep going.
How about 150?
I'll give you 100.
Alright, I tell you
Fine.
what. No, I tell you what. Goldie and Magnus both roll persuasion checks. The higher one is how much gold is given.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
No. All right, ready?
All right. Now,
3,
I'll do the counts to make it fairer.
Wait. Let me
Goldie, type.
Let me just get. Let me type my thing.
I have to roll straight D20 anyway, so.
Okay.
All
right.
3, 2, 1, go! 16.
Two.
All right,
Goldie
so
wins that one.
150 is the price there, Magnus.
Alright, fine.
Alright, so Goldie, you have...
Thank you so much, my kind, generous friend.
I mean, it doesn't really matter to me considering I still have 700.
You see Bash look over at you, you got 700, you say? And he has like that, Scrooge McDuck vibe of mentioning money.
Don't you dare to... We already agreed, I already paid you.
I know, you forgot business and all that, and he sort of goes back, goes back behind the counter, and he's just like, fine.
Plus, I already helped pay for some of your weapon anyway. Remember?
Oh yeah, she did. That's right. I forgot that happened on the session.
Yeah,
Goldie paid the partial deposit for the weapon.
Wait, for her weapon?
No,
yeah,
yours.
it was. Anyone remember? I forgot to make it.
Nearly all my money.
That doesn't help. Alright, you know what? For the sake of this, I'll just say it was. I think was it 100? Was it $100 for it?
Yeah.
I am not the Bank of Magnus. You're not. No one else is getting gold from me.
Then you see a little girl come up. I'm joking. Please, sir, can I have some...
Please, sir, I'm starving.
Can't I just have a silver piece to buy a loaf of bread? Oh, no.
Who charges silver for bread?
I was trying to be funny. Alright.
She then goes to the back.
Alright, anyway, so you both have your weapons now. Magnus, your longsword is, what was it before? Was it the +1? So it is a +2 now.
Yeah.
And Goldie has her +1 to her mace. Alright. Anything else?
Well, I'm gonna head over to the library.
Oh, okay. Alright, go back to the library there. Yeah. Okay, so she's going over there. What about you, Magnus?
I'm very happy. I'm just gonna stare at this for a minute. because now I have to roll. Now I can roll a +9.
9.
9, 9, 9.
Oh,
nine,
yes,
nine,
yes,
nine.
yes.
Like, I don't call out to
I
Magnus.
can't roll
Like,
anything more than less than a
I don't
10 on
think
that
that
one.
was played.
Wait, what's that, sorry?
I said, like, I'd call out to Magnus when I see him like, staring at
Okay.
his way, like, trying not to make
Yeah,
out of
you
it.
look and you just see Magnus just looking at it like a kid at a candy store.
Oh, just so you know, I made that thing myself, and now it's upgraded. So
Brownie must
remember way back when I did a blacksmithing
Brownie
thing?
must find way to OP himself. Got it.
So Magnus has
Magnus
two-
is already OP at levels. What level are we in at this point? Level 8.
Yes.
Anyhow.
Anyway, so Goldie is planning to head to the library. Ursula said she wanted to get something done, so I'll say Marco.
Yes.
I'll just say
I was
Marco
gonna-
goes off and does his thing. So Ursula, what do you got?
I wanted to attune one of my weapons.
Okay, which one?
One of my daggers, the one that I've been carrying since the start of my existence on this,
Okay.
Campaign.
You want to attune to it, did you say?
Yes.
How so? Because unless it's a magical dagger,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it needs
right.
to be a magical
Yeah, never
item
mind.
to attune to something.
Well, fuck. What? What about... I don't know if I could do that with my fucking Staffordshire Rye.
You won't know till you try.
Yeah, I'm not risking it. Never mind.
Okay,
Disregard.
Fair enough then. All right. Okay. So so we'll get to Goldie at the library in a second. I need to just double check because after this, I want to sort of push ahead a little bit. So, does anyone have anything else that they want to do in this scenario before we get to Goldie?
I have one
Go ahead, Trip.
thing. Trip is gonna look for a butcher.
Oh.
Butcher. Oh, meat for the dragons.
Okay.
Hey, look, so I've got the idea.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'll say that works on that. All right. So,
Meat to persuade the dragons.
actually have not planned a butcher.
Shut up.
Okay, fair enough. All right. What? Okay, so I'll say you do manage to find a butcher. I have not thought about a figure behind it, but what are you wanting to get?
Well, Goldie keeps saying it. Meat to persuade the dragons.
Bored.
That's actually a good idea. That's a good idea.
Let me have a look. Is there anything that mentions about meat?
Oh wait, oh gold. We could go. Dragons love gold, right? So
Make
if there
me
isn't a
yourself gold scaled dragonborn.
Yeah, but Trip doesn't have a fortune to give to the dragon because the dragons will probably go back into the shards.
Brownie.
Hey dragons, Magnus will give all his gold to you if you fly us there.
Brownie
Taxi style.
planned a character, and Brownie planned this shit. But one thing he didn't plan for was a butcher in this mix.
The girls would go with every food comes from an external source, no
Yeah.
butcher.
Alright, you know what? We'll go for the best course of judgment on this one. Okay, alright. Okay, how much are you wanting to get?
How much do dragons eat?
Trip will be like, how much do I want to get? How much would I get? How much does a large dragon eat? Is that something I should ask? So she's just like, a large creature larger than me.
That's gonna be a lot of meat.
Okay.
For a creature larger than hers. That's all she's gonna say because she doesn't
I'll
want to, you know.
Are you wanting to get one large piece then?
Just one. I think she go with just one large piece
Okay.
for now.
I'll say for the size that you're after, we'll call it 2 gold pieces. For the size,
Okay,
that you're
she'll
after.
pay that. All right.
Welcome to Happy Butchers, where we butcher everything for your happiness.
I like that one, actually.
And I guess I just add a custom item called a big slab of meat or something like that.
So you said there, so one huge slab of meat.
What kind?
We didn't specify, so you just have a random sort of meat. In fact, you know what? Let me roll.
But imagine this, like, if you give the dragons like pork and they look at it.
You have a large piece of mutton.
Ooh.
That's sheep, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, in fairy tales, dragons have also been known to go after
sheep.
sheep.
Your dragon, where they seem to pass around it like a football. Yeah,
that's true.
All right. So you have that slab of meat there. Anyone else got anything else?
I'm in the library.
Sounds like just the library, and we can wrap this. All right. So, okay. So Goldie, you make your way back to the library. And there you see, let's see, based on the time of the day... Yeah, so you see... Wait, check the Twitch chat. What have you done?
Someone, did a naughty.
God damn it. And apparently we have a dumb bucket. Alpha is classed as dumb bucket.
Okay.
To be fair...
All right. Anyway, so you make your way back to the library. It's still exactly as you've seen it before, partially damaged from the constant the attack that was there when the whole escapade occurred. You see the door still there. You see it's slightly open this time.
Hello?
Just calling out hello. Okay.
Yeah.
So you say hello, and there, opening the door, is that lovable little figure that you remember. Let's see. I had his name written down. Where the hell has it gone?
Was it Trip?
Not
Trip.
Why would you see Trip there? Trip is being meaty.
No.
Oh, Drip. Yeah, Drip. That was it. Sorry, Drip. Drip. D-R-I-P. Yeah, sorry.
No,
My
Drip.
apologies there.
Okay.
Yeah, so there is the dwarven figure of Drip, and he looks over. Yeah, thank you, Liam. So it goes over to you, and goes, "Ah, hello, Goldie. Good to see you back."
Hey, and looks like everything is starting to go back, starting to look as good as new around here.
It gets in the space-time that we had. I mean, it has only been a little time since you showed. It has been about a day or so since you showed up. Anyway, what brings you back?
I came here to return this book about the historian book.
Oh, the history of
that you gave
book.
me.
Ah, fantastic!
Yes.
You see that he sort of walks off from behind the counter and walks up to you and goes, "How did you find it?"
Very, very interesting, and it has like a lot of useful information.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
I'm just glad to know it worked out. So you're handing him the book back? Okay, yeah. So he takes the book. He takes the book back, and he makes his way over to the counter, and he goes, just one thing before you do. And he brings out a scroll and rolls it out and shows it to you. He goes, if you would, could you just sign on this name here, just to say that it was brought back?
Yes. Goldie grabs like a pen and signs her name onto it.
Okay. He sort of.
Where? What kind of pen? Is it a black pen?
Funny enough, it has black ink. Where? I could see that happening because I had someone going up. Hey, where?
I was just about to
Sorry.
say, but I forgot I was muted.
Thank you. All right. You want to buy the book? Well, normally I don't normally sell books out for keeps, I'll admit. It's a first for me. Make a persuasion check. No, it's entitled. Yeah, I know exactly what you're referring to. That's why I was doing the check. Ooh, 17. He looks at you for a moment. How long did you want to really keep it for? Well, it's a bit of a distance. You're looking at maybe like a week. You're looking at about maybe 2 weeks before you get down there. You know what? I think I'll be willing to give it a try. I've not done anything like this, but let me see. How much to do? Oh, I've got it. How about this? And with that, you see him bringing up out like another scroll, and he begins to write sort of away there. And he tries to. He realizes what he's writing. Then he throws the scroll down and grabs another one and begins to write in common instead of dwarven. He goes, sorry, force of habit. Let's see. Okay, yeah. How about this? And he shows you this scroll. And this small scroll, well, more like a parchment, I think, right now is the better way. You see that it actually has written that it has Helix Library written on the top. And you there see a pretty much the equivalent of a permission slip. But basically it basically says I and a space for a name hereby agree to pay a sum of, insert a gap of a gold with a G next to it to represent gold, to acquire this book, to acquire a book and to return it to the Helix Library, and in due time to receive half of the money paid of this amount. Signed, Drip. So he shows and goes, if you just sign your name there, and I'll figure out the sum based on the distance and how long you want to keep it. And what we'll do is this. If you pay me a good sum, if you bring back the book good as new, you can have half of the money you paid back. Very well then. Alright, so do you sign the name? Okay. So you sign the name, and he sort of ponders it for a bit and goes, let's see, so 2 weeks there, possible few weeks back, so looking there, let's see here, and you see him counting on his fingers at this point. Tell you what, concerning this the first time I've done this, if you pay 10 gold for the month, you can have 5 of it if you bring the book back in one piece in the month's time. Any later, no money back. Very well. So he writes the 10 gold into there on the parchment and goes, so if I could just have the 10 gold, my lady? And as you pass it over, you just get the memory of Magnus passing you it for an enchantment. By the way, Magnus, could you roll a perception check for me, please? Yeah. Just... No, trust me, you'll see. You'll see what I have in mind. 11. Okay. As you're marveling at your blade, you suddenly get a tiny shiver down your spine, but you think it's to do with the morning air. That was the idea. Yeah, just animate him. Just for some lol. Alright. So you passed... and it's not in my establishment. All right, so you pass the gold over, and he hands you back the parchment and goes, "So what we'll do is this: you bring the book back with that parchment, and I'll give you the 5 gold back for the book." All right. No pleasure. Well, just call it a mini sort of thank you for still helping this place get set up. I think I'd personally think I'd have to charge a little more, but I think I'm willing to do a good deed for your generosity on passing your time to help me out at least. So I'd say this call's even if you return it back. Well, you know, libraries are always a vast of knowledge. If I don't share it with whoever needs it, I might as well just be damned to be a dam. Well, books can always be helpful. I mean, I know some of them can be a real drag when you think about it, but hey, it's different strokes, different folks, am I right? Yeah, what's troubling your mind? Necromancy. Are you tending to dabble in the arts? You're wanting to know, like, ins and outs and things. Well, it all depends on what type of necromantic. You're saying he's bested you a few times. Oh, doppelgangers. That's a good synopsis. Let's see. Let me have a look. I can't guarantee it's. I tend to dabble more with history and stuff like that. I'm not much of a specialist class type of thing, but I can have a little look. Well, you forgot it's a public library, so it's all about having the different things for everybody, but normally class information and sort of magical stuff tend to be avoiding from here, especially if some people can just walk in and take it, you know. So if anything else, it's better to steal something like Tusk Love, but not something like this. Yeah. Why did I think of Tusklov? Oh, well. And at that point, he brings out this large encyclopedia book of himself and begins to look through it. He goes, I'm going to make a roll for him. Okay. He sort of looks through and goes, let's see. I'm afraid there's not much in here. There's a book that talks about, like... There's a book that talks about, like, magical essences that infect sort of transmogregation, but not so much necromancy. I'm afraid that's the only one I've got. Well, I guess it depends on the type of person who uses it. I mean, necromancy could be seen as good and bad, I guess. Who knows? Maybe one day the good will come out. I mean, if necromancy can revive the dead, I guess reviving a loved one isn't as bad? I don't know. I mean, I agree with you. I see it as more bad than good, but hey, so I guess someone sees it as a blessing. Like that asshole. Well, who knows? Anyway, anything else I can do for you? My pleasure. Anyway, I'll hold you to that note, so make sure you bring that and the book back, otherwise I sadly will have to keep the money. I appreciate it. Alright, so at that point he sort of puts the encyclopedia back under the desk, and I take it you just walk out? Okay. 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 Is this Goldie having some development? Oh. It's a Christmas miracle. Okay. 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 Are you having this word with him now, or are you planning later? It's your character. Do what you wish. Just, I don't know what else I can offer. Alright, the problem is, unless you have the commune spell, it's gonna be kind of difficult to maybe get an attention with him. I mean, with her, sorry. Then you could try and say it to the heavens, but whether you get the response back is a real long shot. Okay. All right. What do you say to her? Sucking up. Concerning you didn't say you were walking out of the library, you hear Drip talk here and yo, what the hell? You never said you walked out yet. I'm just going where it's going. You know what? I'll allow a bypass this time. I'll say you walked out. But let that be a lesson to all of you. Make sure you mention. All right, I'll say I'll allow it. You know what? Make a persuasion check. Just a straight perception check. Oh no, persuasion. Mean? Not mean! Storytelling! 24. Okay. Alright. You get a good feeling about what you basically just said. That's it. Yeah? No response. Breaking the fourth wall here. I'll just say you at least have a good feeling that your question was at least received. Mm. We will pass you to our first available god. Hello, we have found a god who will listen to your plead. You will be passed to Tiamat. Is this... No. All right. Do I assume everyone is taking it easy at this point for the rest of the day? All right. All right. I'll say. Oh. Well, I'd say you bumped into Trip, who's carrying this large wad of meat. I saw that coming. By the way, Magnus, at this point, as the fact when you hear Liam's name, you're close by. Yeah, Magnus, I'll say you're just about hearing this conversation as you see Trip there with a large wad of meat. Chopper? Oh, that's all right. Yeah, so I'll say you're somewhat close by. You see Trip there with a large wad of meat. Oh, yes, yeah, so Trip's just there with a large wad of meat. Kitten just asked the question. So at this point, Magnus, you hear Goldie mentioned Liam's name. Where do we have Liam exactly? I suppose I never asked that, sorry. All right. Well, I suppose a better question to ask you is, Liam, are you staying close to the beacon, or are you doing your own thing? Okay. All right. Fair enough. So you're nowhere in the vicinity at this point. Also, at that point, Marco comes back as well, by the way, to the group there, but, God damn it! I will one day. Mental note. Send something to Marco. Got it. Anyway, so... That is a large wad of meat there. Trip, you planning to throw a party? The help? Oh, wait, are you referring to those dragons? You know what? Nope, no one hears. So you... Well, I guess so. I mean, well, how do we even know the dragons are even going to listen at this point? Yes. So Zelion is close by at this point as well. At this point, should we? So we'll just. I tell you what, Liam, Trilly, do we have you close by, or are you just staying where you are? What did I done? Oh, what's that, Aeon? Okay, I'll just assume that all of you are there at this point together. All this sword around the meat. Could I ask a favor of some people? Zelion, Trip, and Magnus, could you make a perception check for me, please? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he said that. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'd just like to thank this opportunity to thank my mom. Let's see. Yes. He said the name of the show. Okay. Zelion, you're more concerned on this argument. Trip. Magnus. In the corner of your eye, you notice as you're having this discussion, your shards are beginning to glow. Ursula, you can try. What's the saving throw? No, it's, I mean... Yeah, charm spells don't... Yeah, charm spell does not determine if it's a friend or a foe, but charm will basically have you turn to look at Goldie at this point as the pure focus. So, in a way, it's charming your attention from what you have. So, yeah, so what's the saving throw? Goldie? Yes. 15. Okay, so wisdom saving throw, Ursula. 13. No, not enough. So Ursula, as you're getting gripped by Zelion, you suddenly begin to feel calmer, and hearing Goldie's response about the racist remark, your eyes transfix on Goldie, and you begin to feel more respectful to her. By the way, at this point, unbeknownst to all of you, there's a fog beginning to form around all of you. Ah, well that's a shame, because I need all of you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please. I need all of you to make the save, please. Yay! Oh. Oh! Yep, that's great. That's all right. Okay. So wait, hold on, Liam. What's this? Let's see. Starting at 7th level, you gain the ability to come. When you or another creature within 30 feet of you makes an ability check or saving throw, you can use your reaction to add your attack. Alright, so I need to know the numbers from how they are on the top of each one. Okay, so I need to know each number. So from top to bottom on the chat, just so I can double check the number. So, if I see it correctly, okay, Ursula. 20, okay? Magnus. With a nat 1. Alright, Trip. 11. Liam. Zelion. 2 with a nat 1. Goldie. Trilly. 17. Oh, I think Aeon is... Aeon, you might have push to talk again. It's alright. And I'm going to roll for Marco, who's with you. That's cocked. Okay, that is a 15. He fails. Alright, so... Okay, so... Anyone... So, at this point, Ursula... You're the only one who've passed. At this point, this fog begins to form around all of you. Trilly is a little more resilient to what's going on, but all of you begin to feel lightheaded. You all begin to suddenly sway back and forth, and then you all collapse face first onto the floor. And you are all out cold. Not asleep, out cold. Ursula. Oh, not again. Alright, Ursula. Yeah, Ursula, you are the only one who is not affected. So Ursula, at that point, you actually, by the way, Goldie, one question. Your fast friends. Is there a save at any point, or is it just a duration? Then I need you to roll a d20 for me, please. Unconscious. Oh, okay. It auto ends. Yep. So Ursula. You suddenly snap back. And as you snap back, all your team is face down on the floor. Yep. Ursula, as well as this, you see on Zelion, Trip, and Magnus, their shards begin to glow brighter. And at that point, a streak of light fires from all three of them. And in the sky above you, in a fairly smallish form, is the celestial beings of Cobalt, Azarine, and Volcanus. At that point, at that point, by the way, just to verify for Zelion, you're all still breathing, but you're not asleep or fully unconscious. You are in the dreamscape. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot about Sparks. You know what? You can make the roll for me, Trilly. Trilly, could you roll a... Oh, there it is. Let's have a look. Yeah. D20 minus 2. Only one way he's get... Hold on. We'll get 5. No! The giant scorpion just collapses too. So we'll get to the group in a minute. Ursula. At that point, as you see the team and you see all three dragons looking at you, at that point, how are you reacting right now? Okay. Make a stealth check. 19. All right. Oh, I actually have to roll for each dragon. Let's see. I actually have to get their stats up. I have not got their stats up in a long time. Let's see. Let's see. Which one do I roll first? Okay. Okay, let's roll Cobalt. Let's roll Cobalt first. Just remind me the modifier, by the way, for perception. Is that wisdom? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. We'll get to you guys in a minute. Okay, that one's blind as a bat. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. Oh, I looked at the wrong stats. Sorry. Oh, okay. Oh, my mistake. Let's see. He has a passive perception. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Ah, it's a good thing his passive perception is 22. Yeah, these are adult dragons, by the way. Yeah, they're adult dragons. They're not ancients yet. So at that point, Cobalt looks down and goes, "Come out from hiding." And at that point, the town is looking at all this description and they're all frozen in fear. I told you I'd have my fun! At that point, Cobalt, Ursula, how are you reacting? He's called you out. Okay. Are you hiding and looking, or are you looking away? How are you acting? All right. Then Cobalt. Then the unbeknown to you, the apparition comes up behind you and goes, "Look at me." They are almost the size of the beacon. Well, I mean almost the size, they are as tall as pretty much just taller than the first floor. So currently they are standing about, in each of their forms, they are standing roughly just short of between 7 to 8 feet. Right now we're in that market square. Yes! At that point... Yeah, at that point, by the way, just before we get to Ursula again, all of you in the dreamscape, all of you come to consciousness, and all you see around you is not the similar void that you remember. It's not void-like as a turquoisey, whitish color, but it is pure black. It starts off as black, and then a small white fog comes in. It circles around all of your feet. And then it blows against you, almost pushing you all back. And at that point, a figure appears in front of you. This figure starts off small. Then it grows bigger. Then it grows to a familiar size. A size that most of you all remember, of the same size as Azarine, Cobalt, and Volcanus. But it then grows bigger. And at that point you watch as a set of curled horns begins to form, almost forward like a set of forklift. Like a forklift sort of style one. You see a set of large, fangs appear, sticking out from the bottom lip upwards and from the top lip downwards. You then see a pure... You then see, based on your idealistic and the color tone, you see before you the form of an ancient black dragon. Yeah. In other words, Brownie, get on with it. At that point, the figure begins to form. And then you see his wings look almost damaged-like. But then you see his wings not black, but gold. And then you see his claws being red. You see this dragon as 3 different colors. And at that point, he looks at all of you and goes, "So, you are the ones who are trying to get in my way." You, at that point, as you ask that, his tail whips round and encases the back of you, so now it's literally like you've got nowhere to run. Who am I? I am the deity known as Diablos. He just glares down at all of you at this point and goes, "I understand you are the ones who are trying to assemble the other dragons." At that point, his snout leans down and looks you right in the face. In fact, even though it's purely focused on Trip, its snout is pretty much the length of where all of you are spread at this point. And there you see this large puff of black smoke, almost as dark as charcoal, just coming out of his nostrils. It begins to ensnare around all of you, similar to how the fog was. And at that point, Diablos stares at all of you and goes, "Not much a threat if you ask me." Shield of Fate? What Shield of Fate do? Okay, who are you giving it to? Yeah, you're all fully healed from a long rest. Yeah, it makes sense. At that point, Diablos looks at you. In fact, as you cast the spell, 1 second, because I actually have to bring up Diablos' stats. No, not yet. We haven't got there. He's actually going to use a legendary action in this scenario. And he's going to use a legendary Dispel Magic. So, here's how this is. So, because of this in this scenario, and because he's technically in the dreamscape, he's not full power. So, I need you to roll a d20 and add your intelligence modifier. Yes. Okay, Heidi. Oh, that's cocked. Okay. It's alright, he only gets 1 legendary action at this scenario. Okay, so 10. Okay, well, that's fine because he got a 23. In case you wondered for the number, he rolled a 15. So at that point, he snuffs with the black smoke, and instantly, your shield is gone. No tricks. So, you are the descendant of the gold dragon, it seems. He just sort of huffs and looks over all of you, and then his eyes glare at Trilly. And you. I understand that you are not from the lands that you reside right now. You appear to be from the Guardians of Avarice, if I'm not mistaken. How do you choose to... Do you choose to answer, Trilly? Yeah. It appears that you have acquired 3 of what's needed. It seems you are stopping my true desire to return, to conquer what's needed. He just glares at you at this point. Do you not know of my name? I am the Chaos Dragon of the Netherworld. I am Diablos, the true heir and dragon keeper of this god-forsaken landscape. At this point, he slams the claw. I was not defeated! I was merely weak, having just returned. And then... You watch as his eyes glare a vicious blue at this point. By the way, okay. At this point, you watch as he smirks, and he goes, "Well, that's the funny thing about a defeat. You can learn so much. So since you apparently have no idea who you're messing with." You then watch as he takes a step back, his tail still encasing all of you at this point. Okay. Roll an attack. Roll an attack. She called it. Roll the attack. I'll allow you one chance. D20 plus your spell attack modifier. Yeah, it's... No. If you're looking at spells on Beyond, it should give you the number as in plus spell attack. Yeah, so it should say D20 and then 2 hit plus something. So if you're looking at your spell list, it should say like what the save or to hit is in your list of spells. It's not so much a saving throw. You roll the D20. I believe it's... Is it D20 plus... Is it D20 plus charisma? Oh, there you go. That's alright. I can understand the slight fear right now. 14. No, you fire the shot and... Poof, it fires right off him. And he slams a claw into the ground. And he slams another one into the ground. Then how about I show you? And he takes a big, deep breath in. Yep. Ursula! Yeah. We'll get to Ursula. So, Ursula, at this point, the crowds are starting to run around in fear, and the 3 adult spectrums now surround you. And all 3 of them, yeah. At this point, Cobalt bends down, looks you in the face and goes, "Relax. We are not here to hurt you. Your friends are in danger right now." At that point, Volcanus just leans over and goes, "There's no time to argue. Look, do you want to save your comrades, yes or no?" Then we need you they need you right now. At that point, you see Azarine lean forward to your face and goes, "Diablos has taken an influence over all of them. It appears that the constant conflict has been influencing the chaos around the shards. It appears that all this arguing and mistrust about dragons is giving Diablos exactly what he needs." At that point, you see Volcanus nod and goes, "Yeah, look, I understand we're big, scary dragons, but listen, we're trying to get ourselves back, and you're trying to keep your land safe. I understand you don't have a concept of good and evil, but listen, if you don't accept our help, and we need you, otherwise your friends are going to be locked in the dreamscape and no way out. Now, do you have our permission to help you?" Good. By the way, the crowds at this point are looking over, and at that point, Titanus and Lorna are just coming out from the beacon at this point, and they're looking over in your direction. Marco is in the dreamscape with you. Yes. At that point, they look over on the ground, and then they look over at you, Ursula, and at that point, Titanus walks over and goes, "Ursula! What's going on? What happened?" "No, not going into the shards. We need your assistance out here." Just touch the shards. Get all 3 of them together and touch them. Alright, so... Oh, sorry? Okay, yeah, I'll say, based on the fact that they're lying out cold, not putting a struggle, I'll say you're able to do that. Oh. Oh, that's a good point. Because Magnus... Yeah. Oh, that's... Yeah. Magnus and Trip are wearing armors. Yeah. I'll say, Zillion, you're able to move perfectly fine because you're both relative the same. Make a strength check. No, you make a fair point. Huh. All that armor, Magnus, huh? Is it? Not... Oh, not a save. It's more of a check, not a save. It's alright, it's okay, I'll tell you what, just roll that because that would have been a 10, so it's 10 plus your strength modifier. Oh. No, wait. Alright, I'll allow it for this scenario because you went for that. I'll allow it this once. Alright. You're able to, with your just amount of power, able to pull all 3 of them close together. Their shards are almost touching each other at this point, but they're not quite. The dragons are then leaned over their respected person, and you see their wings line up almost in a straight line around you, and goes, No. Now, you need to believe in the dragon's breath. Without that, you need to understand that the dragon's blessing comes from their essence within. If we cannot release the goodwill of your comrades, there is a possibility that that dark power will influence them, and they may never be able to return. All right. So us. Okay. You touch the shards? Alright. At that point... That's a... Ooh. Well, actually, right now they're all glowing, so they're bright enough to find where they are. Yes. Yeah, you find the secret compartment. Alright. Alright. At that point, the dragons now look down and go... at that point, the dragons all look down at you and goes... The blessings of our Aries, the blessings of the hearts, unite in frustration, unite, make a start. We call on the blessings of our powers within, the dragon's guidance, give forth our wings. And at that point, Ursula, you feel your body beginning to well up with energy. Now, at this point, I will say this. It is a challenge roll. So, Ursula, at this point, I will allow you, in the form of similar to Caitlyn's resurrection spell, I will allow you a chance to say something to influence the power and lower the DC. But it needs to be good. So... what do you say, think, or do? This is to influence the roll. Yes. And by the way, at this scenario, by the way, Zelion, Magnus, and Trip, in the dreamscape, as you're watching as Diablos is preparing to launch himself in your direction, you all hear a very faint voice, and it sounds like your dragons. And at that point, all 3 of you at that point, all of you get a glance, and behind Diablos, you see a spectral form of Ursula, with the 3 dragons dotted around her. At the point, that's all you see. So, Ursula, what do you do, say, or think? Okay. At that point, the word fight rings out. I would like you to make a Arcana check with advantage. Ursula. At this scenario, 26! Well, that's actually convenient because the number you needed was 22. Yep, you could. Yes, she could get the crit. Yep, so 26. Okay. At that point, as she says the word fight, all of you in the dreamscape, you hear these words, and almost like a flash, you watch as Diablos lunges straight at you with his giant face, almost like he's getting ready to take a large bite out of all of you. As he does so, as you basically see yourself within his maw for a brief second, you all vanish. And next thing you know, you find yourself in a void. A different type of void. Still black, still with a cloud, but then you feel a stream of wind blowing slowly in front of you. And then whoosh! It blows you back almost as strong as a tornado. It pushes you all, you're all sent flying. You feel yourself scrambling around whether in frustration or you're trying to grab something or anything like that. And at that point, suddenly all is dark again. And as you all say this, at this point, you hear a faint voice calling. Very faint. Then it begins to get louder. And there you see the sight of stone. And you find yourselves back in the market square. Oh, ow. So you're all back in the square at this point. So Ursula, I will tell you right now, you rolled high enough to get the save. Well done. By the way, Ursula, at that point, by the way, Ursula, you watch as the dragons fly above everyone else, unbeknownst to all of them at this point, and they all give a nod. And to Zelion, Magnus, and Trip, you then watch as your shards begin to glow bright, and then they dim. And Ursula, the spectral forms of the dragons, are gone. Oh. But sorry, what did you say there, Ursula? Sorry. All right. All right. Also, sorry. Also, by the way, at that point, Liam and Trilly, you've both woken up now at this point as well. But no. Oh, I so wanted to pull that off. The thing is, I'll say this right now, I was going to give you all one chance, but instantly Caitlin took it before I had the chance to say it. So Caitlin ruined your one chance that you would have had, God, I'm afraid. So, Trip, by the way, at that point, that being the first time you had seen a dragon before you, you know what? At that point, I would like... Oh, sorry. Oh, no, sorry. I forgot about the attack there. Alright, sorry. In this case, I worded that wrong. At this point, I would like everybody except Ursula to make a wisdom check for me, please. Standard wisdom check for everyone except Ursula. Yep. 22, 14, 13. Check. Oh, wait, you have 0 in wisdom, Liam? Oh, fair enough. All right. Oh, that's right, yeah. All right. Well, I will tell you all right now that you all just passed the threshold for it. Yeah, even Goldie by the skin of the teeth by 10. Let's double check everyone's number. Oh, Liam didn't. Sorry. So, every single one of you, you're all able to collect yourselves after what happened. You managed to realize where you are. Liam, because of the experience that's happened, for the next 48 hours, you have a disadvantage on all of your ability checks for the next 48 hours. Alright, so at that point, you're all find yourself back on the stone there. Ursula's there. At that point, Titanus and Lorna come back up, and you see at that point, Lorna comes up to Ursula, and just looks you in the face, almost to see how you're doing. Titanus at this point looks over all of you and goes, "Are you all alright?" Wait. Dragon? Wait. Diablos. You mean... But he's... How? Right. All of you. You need to, as Goldie's just said, concerning the situation with these shards right now, it might be better to get you guys sent off to get yourself to those shards as fast as possible. Don't worry about the protection of this. Those shards are more important. I never said that. I never said that was one, but it's possible. But I don't know. It's look, just. Here is the map. Which way do you wish to go? And velvet. It's the biggest militia compared to Hope Key, yes. Well, concerning they're both relatively the distance, I'd say you're looking just short of about 2 weeks by walking. At least from the distance from here, anyway. By sea, that's even longer if you're going along the eastern coast or the western coast. Oh, you can? Let me double. Oh, a tiger! Wow, going right for that. Yeah, based on her. Let's see. Based on her selection, I mean, a tiger would be able to carry one of you, but the thing is, it only lasts a day, and you still gotta make a random chance of getting it. No, not. If you're going by continuous will get you there in, let's see. I think if you're going continuous without stopping, it'll be exhausting, but you'll probably get there in just under maybe a week. Actually, hold on, let me double check my notes. Sounds like a ridiculous idea. Well, what would you call such a device? No, that's stupid. All right. A Volkswagen. I like it. That's clever. I like that. Wagon. I like it. That's clever. I got it. All right. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I misjudged that a bit worse there. Sorry. If you're walking the distance, it will be 2.5 weeks. By horses, it's just under 2 weeks. You'd have one day before the sun rises, and then it goes poof. Oh my god. What's your suggestion? I'll say with the time that's been going by and how long it's taken for you guys to wake up and all that, I'll say that Titanus and I'll say that Lisa that Lorna's going around trying to get their attention while Bash is doing his best as well. I'll say if you want to, I'll say you can use your I'll say you're able to use your calm emotions on a good few. I'll allow that. At that point, by the way, at that point, a man comes walking by, screaming, "The dragons are here! Bahamut has sent his wrath! Run! Run!" At that point, a voice echoes. He's right, you know. And Zillion, you realize that the voice, it's come from your shard. At that point, a stream fires out, and standing right next to you, as the size of a puppy, a small dragon. Nope. And you realize from the voice, that is Cobalt. At that point, he gets the hug and goes, like, I'm not some pet. I figured that my size before caused a disturbance to pass on a message, but from what I understand, you're all going off to get help? Yeah. You all see now this small kobold who's currently in Zellion's hands. He just sort of is looking at you with his eyes lowered, going, I could end you with a snuff. At that point, wait, what did you say there, Chopper? Psst, a light fires off, and right next to you is the similar size Azarine. At that point, Azarine just sort of looks over all of you with a glare at this point. And then, at that point, Azarine also then turns and walks over to Ursula. He actually uses his wing and just gently wipes a small tear on your face and just sort of just nods and goes, "The result is all that matters. The fact that they're alive says it all." And he walks back over to Magnus. Well, it's actually you say that, Trip. Yeah, as you approach this worshipper of Bahamut, Yorkshire begins to... No. No, not yet. No, I'll get to that in a minute. That was the idea. So how long before someone goes, Dino slash Azarine Dragon, roar! No, not like that. Alright. Yeah, she's right next to you. Boom. More. Oh. So you're making your way out? Okay. Alright, is anyone following? Okay. Don't worry, I know. We'll get to you. Oh yeah, they smell. They're looking at the mutton. Not the blood-coated mutton. Yeah. Yes, I know the mutton man, the one who lives in Helix. The butcher man. Thank you. All right. So, is anyone? So, yeah, you got the button there. Is anyone taking that with you? Because I believe you're all heading out of the city at this point. Except for Trip, who's gone to go find the Bahamut worshipper. Oh. Yeah, he's actually been sat there trying to sort of rub his head and get his bearings straight as well. He hopefully the last. His eyes glance and goes, "What the hell?" And he's actually pulling out the sword and pointing it towards Azarine. Azarine glares at you. You think? At that point, Azarine sort of flies a little bit. He actually grabs the mutton with his talons and follows the rest of the group. Okay, fair enough there. Alright, so the rest of you do this. So right now, Trilly, what are you doing? Yes. Oh yeah, Trilly's been stuck under the scorpion. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it's slowly getting up, so I'll say you're able to just about help the scorpion up. And Sparks at that point looks down at you, Trilly, with a sort of. Just it for that. Okay. All right. Yeah. Trilly's back up. Fair enough. Liam, what are you doing? Okay, fair enough. So right now, okay, and Goldie, you said you were going to help some people? Okay, I'll say you're able to do that and such. Trip! Dexterity check as you're running after the Bahamut worshipper. Two. Yeah, you fall forward as the Bahamut guy just sort of runs off into the suburb areas and is just screaming his head off as he runs off. Tadley, you've lost him now at this point. The damage. Oh right, yeah. Sorry, I forgot you fell over. I know. Oh, bloody hell. Thank you. Funny enough, you do take 58 points. No. You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage. Yeah. Ironically enough, it's been a D6 I've been rolling this whole time. You just got very lucky on those rolls. Alright, so he's run off into the town, and I'll say at this point you just see the group all going off towards the southern exit. What are you doing? Alright, fair enough. Alright, at that point, all of you outside of the city. So first of all, Cobalt. As you make your way outside Zelion with Cobalt there, Cobalt actually then jumps off Anastasia, and you then watch as Cobalt then sort of lowers himself to the ground a little bit, and then you watch as he grows in size, and you see that he is now in a similar form to Ursula's look from when she saw before, the adult version of Cobalt. Only between these sizes, we are not as strong yet. Yeah, Ursula's there. So Ursula, you recognize this as and seeing sight. In fact, Ursula, could you make a wisdom saving throw for me, please? Yep. Yep, that's what it is. 18. No, you succeed. You're perfectly fine. At that point, the rest of the group all turn up, and Cobalt looks over and sees Azarine carrying the mutton. And he's just there with a blink going, Azarine, what do you... And he goes, apparently this is something they all bought for all of us, apparently. And at that point, oh, the Furbolg. Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. It's like I'm trying to process this. At that point, so as you're doing this, yep, book, yep. I know. I'm getting to it. All right. So at that point, all of you there, and now Magnus, for the first time watching this. You watch as Azarine does the similar expression to what Cobalt did. He lowers himself to he lowers the mutton on the ground first after partially flying, then he lands next to it. He lowers himself to the ground, and then you watch as he turns himself into the familiar form of Azarine that you saw in the dreamscape. I hate all of you. So at that point, Azarine looks down at you, Magnus, and goes, so you're going off to find this militia. And from what I also heard, supposedly a shard is there. I see. And I yes? Yeah, it was you who got the book. Yeah. Yeah, you got the information. You didn't take the book, but you had the information. No. Yep. So you're separating yourself in order to find this location. Well, I don't know how far my powers will be able to fly as close to there, but I'd say any distance would probably help if that is the situation. You nearly said car. No. Think considering that we saved your lives, I think that should say something, right? At that point, Azarine looks over at you, Magnus, for just a moment, and he glances and goes, I'm also aware that you know of my history. Look, let me just make this very, very clear. I understand that you think this is a gesture of goodwill, but Pete, no mind. I'm doing this because I generally want to get my body into full power. Plus, I don't want to be locked into one of those shards again. Admittingly, I am roughly the same. Though more lenient towards the fact that I just want to go back to just being able to be free. And Volcanus, on the other hand, is more exactly the opposite. Well, Volcanus, being a red dragon, is more prone to destruction and mayhem. That being said, I think as long as he gets the chance to upheat some freedom of his own, I think we'd be able to, shall we say, give him what he desires too. Sorry, getting tired. Sorry. So at that point, you see both dragons look down at their respective shard users. So, I'll say at this point, if by the way, Trip, what are you doing in this scenario? Oh, they went south. Alright, I'll say you're able to do so. So she literally does the She literally just does the run by, going, "Hey there, sorry, the dragons are bad. Bye." All right, and at that point, by the way, Trip, you arrive outside, and there you see the sight of the 2 giant dragons. No, let's explain that. At that point, by the way, Trip, at that point, your shot glows. And landing right next to you. Landing right next to you is a very small red dragon. And it looks at you with a bit of a glare, and then just nods, as if almost like in recognition. You watch as a smirk appears on his face. By the way, at that point, you actually, you see the dragon look over at the piece and then back at you and goes, "That should suffice for all of us." And you watch as he charges forward and begins rampaging on the mutton. And then at that point, the other 2 dragons actually shrink back down to this normal size, and all 3 of them get at the mutton. Cool, it's this moment, cool. Yeah, just about. I forgot about that. By the way, at that point, the fact that you guys didn't sneak away, you just walked away as you did, you've now got everybody sort of looking over where you guys walked. And all of them at this point, because in fact, you know what? Because I actually did a roll, Cobalt actually looks down at the rest of the group and goes, "It appears it is a sign of affection." Cobalt at that point roars into the sky and goes, "Congratulations!" It's a good thing Ursula was the only one who didn't get the disadvantage, huh? Disadvantage Vizelion. The dreamscape shit? Oh wait, no, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Wrong way around, thank you. Never mind. Thank you. Okay. At that point, Zelion, you stumble backwards and fall over a rock. Cobalt at that point looks over and actually calls out to you, "I don't think that statement helps." You'd have to stealth to get up. You'd have to beat their passive perceptions. It's alright. Okay, so I just need a confirmation, because the fact that the dragons have agreed, what is the game plan exactly? Okay. Saw that coming. Alright, okay. So, Magnus said he was going down to Velvet. Okay, so get... Oh, hang on. Liam said... So, wait, Liam's going with you? At that point, by the way, Titanus comes out and goes, "Well, if it makes it easier, we could look after Sparks here while you guys go and do what you need to do." He actually looks over at you, Trilly, and goes, "Is that all right with you?" Well, Trilly said she was walking at the back, I believe. And you said you calm emotions. I mean, were you still in the city or did you come out? Oh, okay. Trilly, are you still in the market square? All right, so I say you're just in earshot for Titanus to hear you. So he looks at you. So he's mentioned about sparks. How do you respond, if at all? Oh, okay. All right. Well, I gotta put on my Sparks voice. Don't put me back in the box. Don't put me back in the box. All right. Sorry. Go ahead, Trilly. It sort of ponders for a tiny moment. And he sort of is a little sort of walking towards you. But at the same time, he's hesitant to go near the dragons. So it's up to you, Trilly. Are you asking the group? Oh, okay. Group, you're being asked a question by Trilly. Yeah, you're all still together. You haven't all taken off yet. No, you're still outside in the gate area at this point. Yeah, that's why you all went outside. So Trilly's asking, like, what's the plan about how long do you guys think you'll be away from Helix? I can't do horse. I can't do a horse. Fine. Fine. Nay. You sound that's it. You say that's fine. All right. Okay. So that's the answer on that one. I don't know if that's any help for you, Trill. All right. He just sort of raises his claws up in the air at this point. That's anything to go on? Yeah. Oh, sorry. My apologies. Yeah, about that. He goes, I understand. Just promise you'll come back. Ew. Ew. Then I trust that enough. As best you can on a giant scorpion. Yeah, he sort of tries to close his pinches as best he can to basically try to keep you close as best he can, but he's just trying to have a tough time, and he just sort of nods his best and goes, "I'll miss you too. Bring back some goodies if you can." All right. So, is that everything from everybody? All right. Yeah. Okay. We'll finish with one last thing. So, Caitlin, what are you doing at this point? I'll say at this point you've calmed a good majority of the people down with both a mixture of your spell and your words. Yeah, apparently Liam is still with Goldie. I don't think he is. I think he was just teasing. Yeah. All of a sudden, you find one of Liam's speaking boxes close by. Joking. All right. So, are you going back to the group at this point then? Make a quick perception check. Oh my god. That's alright. No, there's nothing wrong with that. Drive chick. 11. Just people just looking at you with a sort of, okay. And that's about the most eventful thing you've got. There's Wally. Alright, as you make your way outside, you see the sight of 3 full-grown adult dragons. She literally just walks out the door and goes, "Nope." Oh, the old whistle out the door. Then do 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 do. Is your name Bart? Hello. Hexu. Thank you. Well, you might want to tell Goldie before Goldie goes back inside. By the way, Goldie, at that point you realise you see your friends all standing next to each dragon. Too much dust. Sorry, too much dust. Yeah. Alright. So at this point, I'll say people getting on dragons standing next. Because Well, it depends which way you're going, I guess. Alright. Let me make a note of this. Okay, so Magnus and Goldie are together on a dragon. Zelion's on one. Liam, you're going with them? Okay. That's a 3 there. Okay. I suppose it helps on this. Trip. What are you doing? He lowers himself and he lets himself for you. Okay, so you're on Volcanus. Trilly, what are you doing? Okay, fair enough. Alright, so just to make sure I've got this right. So, Magnus, Goldie, and Liam are all on Azarine. Yep. Okay. Thank you, Zelion. All right. Okay. Yep. So, and then we've got Creo, which is going to be Zelion and Ursula, and they're going to Creo. Volcanus, Trip, where are you going with you and Trilly? You're going to Creo. Okay. So, full confirmation, Azarine and Volcanus are going to... Oh, wait, no, sorry. Azarine is going to Velvet, Cobalt and Volcanus are going to Creo. Yes. Yeah, don't worry, I got that as there. Oh, that's a good question. Crescendo, I'll say Crescendo is... Oh, that's right. Yeah, we haven't given that bit there. Oh, jeez. Yeah. I'm glad someone remembered. I was thinking about it, but I was like, I'm sure someone will bring it up. I'll just say... It's alright. I'll just say Crescendo probably just decides to stay in the city just so he's safe in the walls. Not really, no. And Topaz is deciding that she wants to stay in the city just to, probably just to help keep an eye on things. Essentially doing the same thing that, that Goldie was doing. So I'll just say Topaz is there doing her thing. Yeah, I need to speak to Lena about that one exactly. Right, at that point, the wings begin to gently glide up. All three of you are close by together. As you're flying up, you see some of the townsfolk sort of in the center. They're sort of looking on with a weird sense of fear yet calmness. And on the ground below, you awe as well as a bit of fear in their eyes. You see Titanus and Lorna waving to you from the center square. Bash is also just arrived to see you guys flying off. And at that point... Last chance, is that where you guys all going? All right, are you all flying together in a formation to a spot? All right. At that point, by the way, Azarine's wings tuck in. and he goes at a normal pace. Alright, so at that point, all three of you fly off towards the southern direction of Marnu on the 3 dragons you have all possessed. And that's where we're gonna end tonight's session. I'm both weirdly proud yet annoyed that Ursula got that save. Yes, I'm very proud of you. Yet I'm also annoyed because I was like, I wanted that to go so well. Oh, I'm fully happy about that. Well, I will say this. You're lucky enough that Heidi's words actually meant something because, ironically enough, the DC was actually 2 higher. So it was 24, but then it was 22. So Heidi... Yeah, so in the way, she would have passed regardless. So it was her moment to shine. Right. So with that said, I now need to figure out a plan for a split party again. So that means everyone does have to be together. So now I need to figure out if I'm gonna... I'll figure out a plan. Yep. Alright, so with that said, everybody, that's all for tonight's session. I'm sorry about the little hiccup there for everybody who did come by or whatever. Otherwise, we shall see what happens on the next episode. So until then, guys, if you were charged with joy with this stream, be sure and hit the follow and check us all out there. So perceptions rolled low. It's time for us to go. So with that said, it's bye from Brownie of the Joy Charge Gamers. It's goodbye from Kotlol. From Dell. Oh no, sorry, from that oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. Your name's Kotlol, so goodbye from Dell. Yeah, thank you. It's goodbye from Raven. Chopper. Caitlin. Aeon. And Heidi. Da. And with that said, we shall see you in 2 weeks for the next episode of Perception Check. Stay charged and catch you all later. Goodbye!